Right, the best movies of 2015. Bit late, but still. I thought that was a bad thing, but then when I was putting together my worst of list, I will warn you now, one video in advance, that is a horrible list. But let's start off with the good stuff. Well, this movie is... Well, first off, it's really surprising. I didn't expect this movie to be on this list. I did watch Shaun the Sheep in his debut in A Close Shave, actually, and his TV show he got on CBBC. And now, like Wallace and Gromit, he's moved on to the big screen. And like Wallace and Gromit, he's also got a really fun movie. And this is one of two movies where the main focus, the main characters, don't actually speak English, the other one being Minions. But this, the humour is just brilliant, and since they're moving out, like Wallace and Gromit did, they're getting a bigger set, they do more stuff, and the bad guy, who, voiced by Omid Jalili, well, I say voiced, but you get the picture, he is actually a really suitable villain. Like the farmer, the plot, yes, I'd say it's not Oscar-winning stuff, but then again, this is Shaun the Sheep we're talking about. The farmer basically falls asleep in a caravan, and that goes rolling off, and Shaun, Blitzer, Timmy, Shirley, and all the other sheep have to go and find him. And that does sound like a plot for one of the TV episodes, which are basically 5-10 minutes long. So this is good. And I hope this does get a sequel like the Aardman movies. They've all been single, like Wallace and The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, Chicken Run, Pirates and Adventurous Scientists, Flushed Away, and this. They've all been single franchise movies. And I hope if Aardman don't make another one of this, they just make another film, because Aardman are great at movies now. And this is really fun, and just, I recommend you see it at least once, because it really does enjoy it, especially if you saw Wallace and Gromit as a kid, because this kind of brings it all back. Well, it took 23 years, but we've finally got a sequel worthy of being in the Jurassic Park franchise. I mean, Colin Trevorrow, I'm not sure how or what he did, but this is actually a good Jurassic Park sequel. Let's think about that. We had The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. So we've now evened the score. We've got 2 good ones and 2 bad ones. But Jurassic World is kind of the rinse and repeat Jurassic Park sequel, as in people go to park, dinosaurs escape, chaos ensues, people kill dinosaur. Rinse and repeat. But they have changed it up this time, like there's actually now a working park, so we can see it, people going and being interested in this. And yes, we do kind of have some pointless kids who don't really do much, but hey, That's the formula as well. Yeah, we got 2 adults and a few kids usually. But it's nice that they didn't just use the T-Rex again. They actually played it up, like people saying that people are getting bored of T-Rexes. They want something bigger and they want something better. And they're kind of talking about their own movie here. And the Indominus Rex, yes, it does kind of lead to some guards being stupid, which are obviously expendable. Like them thinking they use raptor DNA, therefore he can't use any skills of the raptor. But then they suddenly realise it can. That's them just being absolutely stupid, but they're guards, somebody's got to get killed in a Jurassic Park movie. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. Bryce Dallas Howard, I'll admit, last time I saw her was in Spider-Man 3. And so she I wasn't expecting much from her. But Chris Pratt, last time I saw him was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, he's just as good here. I'll admit he's trying to play flirting hunter guy again. Just, oh, you're the female lead, I'm the male lead. We have to fall in love. Again, why'd you have to do that? But it also ties in nice with the first Jurassic Park movie, and it doesn't care to notice Lost World or Jurassic Park 3, which is good. So, all in all, good movie, check it out, and for once, it was actually one of the highest raising movies at the box office. And it is getting a sequel with militarized dinosaurs. So we may break the formula here. We're getting a new type of Jurassic Park movie. Wonder what it's called. Jurassic Army. But for now we have this film, and if you want to see a new Jurassic Park movie that is good, and I know it's not possible to get bored of Jurassic Park, but if you want a sequel to this, yes, this will do it. So go see it. It is amazing. But if I have one problem, it's the fact that it uses CGI too many times. Like Jurassic Park, they use practical effects, and the only time Jurassic World does it is once, and that's dying dinosaurs. And then that's only one, like the wide shot of an entire field, that's CGI as well. So if I've got one complaint, is they need to use more practical effects, but apart from that, it is a good movie. Okay, this movie, I'll admit, it's not as good as the first one. But I don't understand why people are saying that it's the worst movie of the year. It's not. Everybody knows what the worst movie of the year is. The only reason why people don't like this is because they overhyped it. Now, I'll admit, I overhyped it a bit, but I wasn't disappointed as much. I had a funny feeling that the sequel wouldn't be as good, but half the appeal of the first one was the team getting together, and this movie doesn't really need to do that. And I really enjoyed it. Like, obviously, Ultron, he's a typical MCU villain, and none of them, again, are as good as Loki, and I don't think they ever will be. But I liked it how they tried to give more development to Hawkeye, who was being controlled most of the first movie. So it's nice to see that he has a family, and it's nice to see that. And seeing them at the beginning is a good thing, because we see them fight together as a well-oiled team. And obviously, this being an MCU movie, it obviously sets up a lot of stuff, like Captain America and Iron Man arguing, which obviously this is the only movie we see them in before Captain America Civil War this year. So it's nice to see that, and, spoiler alert, I kind of like the new Avengers lineup. Like, I'm not sure if it will stay like that, because of Avengers 3. I feel like Chris Hemsworth, Mark, or Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, Black Widow and Hawkeye will all come back together. That's what I feel like will happen. At least they'll all be in that movie, at least not as the Avengers. And we have Quicksilver. Sorry, Marvel, but X-Men just did it better. Like, obviously, Scarlet Witch were very good, but they can't call them mutants, and I'll admit they got around that problem very well, but I just don't... Quicksilver's the only really real kind of thing you get of Quicksilver is he just keeps saying you didn't see that coming, and he's fast. That's really all there is to him. He's fast. Scarlet Witch is more developed, which is good because she's the one that ends up surviving. And I'll admit, the side quest 4 goes on. There is a deleted scene that should have stayed in there if they had to leave that in there. And annoyingly, there's no director's cut coming, so we won't see any more of this. This is the only cut we're getting, which is kind of annoying, because if they were gonna do all these side quests, they could have kept all the scenes in. And I have no idea where Hulk's going, apart from Asgard, probably, because he's in Thor Ragnarok. But it is an enjoyable movie. But unfortunately, out of the 2 MCU movies out this year, this one just came last. So, Marvel's done it again. Another movie that we'd thought would go absolutely nowhere actually works. And I applaud this movie. I really do, because it went through a lot of trouble with Edgar Wright leaving. And it seems like most of the comedy, Edgar Wright would do it. Edgar, can't even say his name. Edgar Wright would do it. Was his, I think. And Paul Rudd, they're focusing on Scott Lang, not Hank Pym. And for information, Scott Lang in the comics was the second Ant-Man. And I know it's not like Marvel to do a prequel, but Hank Pym as a young Ant-Man, like a prequel, would be nice. So we get both Ant-Mans, and thankfully we don't have to wait long to see Paul Rudd again, because he's in Captain America Civil War. And Yellow Jacket, the villain. Again, not as good as Loki. Never will be. He's just... Marvel's got 2 types of villains. They have I'm evil, and they have Loki. Yellow Jacket is the typical I'm evil. It seems Marvel's very good at that. But the CGI in this, well, it have to be great. It's got to make Michael Douglas look young. It's amazing, look. Because they did, if you didn't know, they did that in Captain America the Winter Soldier when Peggy Carter had to look old. That was all CGI as well. So it's just amazing. And the fights are very inventive. And they use the fact that Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket can shrink to their full advantage. Like, that time. I'll have to say now, just for the fact that Yellow Jacket got taken out by Thomas the Tank Engine. A toy Thomas the Tank Engine. Just one of the joys that come out of this movie. And the way that they tie this one into the MCU is constantly saying call the Avengers, and then Falcon turns up for a fight and then goes. I'll admit they could have tried better, but it's good, and it's just great to see in Marvel trying to start a new character, because the main Avengers that were in Phase 1, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, their contracts are all coming to an end in Avengers 3, so it looks like Marvel are going to have to start new characters, and I'm glad to see that they'll try, and they haven't really failed with new characters. Both Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man have succeeded, so as usual, MCU movies all the way, they always make my top 5, so I'm hoping this year Doctor Strange and Captain America Civil War, they will make it, at least not, if not both, at least one, and I think I'll have a funny feeling which one it will be. What else was it gonna be? Of course, Star Wars is my best movie of 2015. Because I remember when this movie was announced, everybody, and I mean everybody, said that this wasn't gonna work. Because how could you continue off Return of the Jedi? And they've done it. And the best thing is, it's included the old generation, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke. For about 30 seconds, but still Luke. And they've introduced the new characters like Finn, Rey, and Poe. And this movie, the way it introduces those new characters, just brilliant. And of course we have General Hux, Kylo Ren, and Supreme Leader Snoke, who I have a funny feeling will be the Emperor of this new trilogy. And it's nice that I know that it's nice that they kind of tricked us into saying that we thought John Boyega Finn would have the classic, he'd be the Jedi, but no, it's Rey. And I like that because we haven't really seen any human female lead Jedis in any of the 6 movies, which is good, and that will make a nice change. And of course, Poe and Finn, they've got both lovely characters, and BB-8. You gotta love BB-8. Obviously, the villains. Kylo Ren is a good villain. I mean, he's not exactly as intimidating without his mask on. Probably just the hair. No, nothing against Adam Driver, but the hair doesn't really scream leader of the First Order, does it? Much better with his mask on. And the stormtroopers, who can actually hit their targets now, which is good. But Captain Phasma, I'll admit, she doesn't really do much. She kind of... It is funny when Finn just shoves her down the garbage chute, and Han when they're trying to think of what to do with her, Han Solo, funny question answers, Han just goes, Is there a garbage chute? Which I just love the way he just thought of that. And he said that so smugly, like he's always wanted to throw a stormtrooper down the garbage chute. And all the callbacks, like when Finn and Rey are getting into the Millennium Falcon, and she just said, that ship, that's garbage. That was genius. Like, they're not shoving these callbacks down your throat. Like, if you saw the original trilogy, you'll get them. And if you don't, this is just like a new start. Star Wars is back, and it's back with a bang, and it is brilliant. Like, if you hate the prequels, fine, you get a new trilogy. For me, I like the prequels and I like the original trilogy, and I like this movie. So if Episode 8 and the anthology spin-offs are as good as this one, well, Star Wars is staying strong, and it's all down to J.J. Abrams and the amazing cast. Like, I don't think this movie would have been possible otherwise. And I hope, like J.J. Abrams, if you've seen the Star Trek 2009 behind the scenes documentary, you know J.J. uses kind of interesting techniques to make his sets look bigger. Like, he used kids to make the sets look bigger, and he shakes the camera. And I feel like they could work in Star Wars. So they've really dragged. They've really got a good director, a great cast, and episode 8, I just cannot wait. So I'm glad we're getting another Star Wars movie this year. And it's how the Rebels got the Death Star plans. So that is just what this is. Good job it was released around Christmas, because this was basically a great Christmas present. I got to see it as a Christmas present. Absolutely amazing. And to be honest, I hope Die Hard's. I know what it takes to be classified as a Christmas movie, set in Christmas or released around Christmas. This was released around Christmas. Great Christmas movie. Well, there you have it, my top 5 movies of 2015. Now join me next week for my top 5 worst movies of 2015. That is not going to be great. I've got... This may make it too obvious, but I have the worst actor in Hollywood. Well, was the worst actor in Hollywood, now the worst actor on Netflix on that list. See you then.